G'day everybody, it's Master Yoda here and hope you guys are all doing well. The title of today's video is called the Oofy Doofy Cope. My understanding of the Oofy Doofy theory is that apparently or supposedly lots of ugly men are doing really well with women and they're picking up lots of hot women and proponents of the Oofy Doofy theory say, oh, you see it all the time, you go out in the street and you see all these ugly guys with hot looking women. I'm going to have to call bullshit on that, and this is my comeback to the Oofy Doofy cope or Oofy Doofy theory. Yeah, sometimes you do see an ugly guy with a hot looking one, but it's rare. It's exception, not the rule. It's you very rarely see an ugly man with a hot woman. In fact, you rarely see an ugly man with any women at all. And my comeback to that is, okay, you supposedly or allegedly see these ugly guys or oofy doofy guys with beautiful women. Why is that people say things like, oh, what does she see in him? Or how did he get her? Or there's the other thing, well, he's batting out of his league. Well, hang on a minute. If looks wasn't an issue and these oofy doofy guys were getting beautiful women easily, people wouldn't make those comments. But the reason why people say things like, oh, what did she see in him, or how did he get her, or he's batting out of it, because it's an anomaly. It's the exception, not the rule. It's this shouldn't be happening. Usually, when you see couples out in public, they usually looks maxed and age maxed. So when people see a mismatch, like an ugly guy with hot women, people say, oh, what's going on here? So yeah, this oofy doofy thing is it's a cope. It's bullshit. It's absolute crap. Sometimes an unattractive guy can get lucky, but really, the proponents of the oofy doofy cope, okay, when they do see these instances or rare instances of a unattractive man with a beautiful woman. Are they taking into account the circumstances of the relationship? Is he rich? Probably is. And she's a gold digger, right? That explains that. And also, too, how old are these couples? I mean, if they're an older couple, okay, maybe when they first met, they were more attractive, but as they get older, their looks deteriorate. And that happens with everyone, right? So maybe when that older couple first met, yeah, they were attractive, but then as time goes by, their looks deteriorate. The guy might lose his hair, puts on weight, and he just ages, as we all do. So you have to take into consideration, the circumstances of that relationship. On the rare instances, I see an oofy doofy or a below average guy with a beautiful woman. The first thing that comes in your mind is it money, and in a lot of cases, it usually is. But it's exception, not the rule. It is. I mean, I rarely see unattractive guys with women. In fact, I rarely see unattractive guys with any women at all. The only time I see an unattractive guy do well with women is when he's either entering or exiting a brothel for obvious reasons. I think a lot of these oofy doofy copers, I think when they falsely claim that they see all these ugly guys do well with women, I think that it's a number of things. They're either lying, or they're not taking into account the circumstances of that relationship. Most likely, that oofy doofy guy, that unattractive guy, he's probably just got money, and she's just a gold digger. Or another thing, maybe that so-called ugly guy is not really that ugly at all. Maybe he's just a high-tier normie, or he's average looking. A close in-call friend of mine who, just like myself, he whoremaxes or escort sells, he told me about a story that he went to see a hooker, and after they had sex, they were making a bit of small talk, and they were debating about the importance of looks. And typical woman, she tried to downplay it, as they tend to do. And then the hooker said to my in-call friend, "Oh, look, my previous boyfriend wasn't attractive. He was ugly." And then what she then did, she pulled out her smartphone and showed a photo to my in-call friend, and the guy was actually attractive. So she considers her ex-boyfriend unattractive. What does that make us sub 3 guys? We must be the Elephant Man or Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yeah, so yeah, I think with these Oofy Doofy copers, I think, as I said before, it's a number of things. They're not taking into account the circumstances of that relationship. Most like the guy's rich and the woman's a gold digger. Maybe the guy wasn't really that unattractive, and they're overstating just how unattractive he was when really he wasn't that bad. Yeah, so I think that's, or they haven't taken into account that particularly if it's an older couple. Yeah, obviously when they first met, they would have been attractive, but as time goes by, the looks deteriorate, especially with men. Men they lose hair, they put on weight. Yeah, so yeah, that's my view on the Oofy Doofy cope. Look, it's when you see an ugly dude with a beautiful woman, it's usually going to be money. Yeah. Look, there are some rare cases where a guy could be ugly but broke, and he was just lucky enough to find a woman who took him for who he was. And there are women like that. They're not common; they're pretty rare. As an ugly man, you could just be lucky and just find an attractive woman who just takes you for who you are. But you'd have to be the lottery ticket winner lucky to experience that sort of luck. Normally, unattractive guys they get weirded out of the gene pool pretty fast, and yeah. But anyway, guys, that's all to say on the topic. If you'd like to leave your likes, comment, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon. You guys have a great day. Bye for now.